My name is Sherman, and this is my learning and motivation considerations for my two media choices for the Swim Trojan CPR practice component. My two media choices again are an in-person use of responsive advanced CPR mannequins and an augmented reality CPR course. Based on this USC Learning Design Toolkit, I took a look at how each chosen medium could support the learning outcomes specified in the Swim Trojan CPR course design. I will start by discussing the three knowledge outcomes for the advanced CPR mannequins. Into it, the three knowledge outcomes for the Swim Trojan CPR course are displayed here. If you have not seen them before, please pause now to familiarize yourself with them. Advanced CPR mannequins meet each three knowledge outcomes through many means. For instance, the advanced CPR mannequins provide access to students' prior knowledge and of CPR procedures and helps intrinsic load management as they are tasked to practice on lifelike advanced mannequins. In addition, the instructor will start the hands-on practice slowly, working with one part of the procedure at a time and then having student groups work through each one together. Thus, using prior knowledge, in-person modeling, and effective scaffolding, this will allow students to use their learned knowledge as building blocks for more difficult tasks. As mentioned before, students will practice in groups, and this will be in groups of 5. Thus, there will be an increase in germane load as students will be able to peer teach and help each other out. The instructor will also continually encourage learners to be metacognitively aware by engaging in self-explanation and peer teaching. The instructor will also be able to decrease extraneous load by using the advanced CPR mannequins by providing clear summative assessment expectations, which will be a run-through of a random situation at the end of the course. Besides tapping into prior knowledge, modeling, and scaffolding, the instructor will also use the advanced CPR mannequins to provide cues and essential information that will be needed for the summative assessment and, more importantly, to save a life when the need is greatest. The augmented reality medium meets many of the same criteria for the knowledge outcomes that the advanced CPR mannequins also did. For instance, students will tap their prior knowledge of previous theoretical training to practice their CPR skills on an augmented reality platform much like they did for the CPR mannequins. Learners like the advanced CPR mannequin will also be in groups of 5 and will be able to provide peer teaching, which has to do with increasing germane load. Practice will be broken up into manageable portions of practice, so scaffolding, just like the advanced CPR mannequins, and just like the CPR mannequins, the instructor will provide cues and essential information for the summative assessment at the end of the course. Where the augmented reality medium varied from the CPR mannequin for the knowledge outcomes was the fact that the augmented reality medium will do a better job of putting learners into conditions and contexts in which their prior learning will be more applicable. This is because the AR or augmented reality program can put learners into more realistic situations and have them practice their skills there, whereas the advanced CPR mannequins will only ever be in a classroom setting. Now, let's move on to the motivational outcome. If you are unfamiliar with the motivational outcome for the Swim Trojan CPR course, it is now displayed on the screen. Please pause to understand it before you move on. For the motivational outcome, I will once again start with the advanced CPR mannequins. The instructor will provide rationale for practicing on the most lifelike objects so that one is ready for an emergency situations and will not freeze up. Thus, to make the advanced CPR mannequins as lifelike as possible, the mannequins will be of various types of biological sexes. Specifically, the instructor will insist on 2 with female anatomy and 2 with male anatomy for both the adult mannequins and the mannequin babies. However, the bodies will be cut at the waist, so not exactly full to form. The instructor will also encourage self-efficacy by presenting high expectations from learners and explain how critical it is for learners to know and practice CPR procedures to save future lives. The advanced CPR mannequins will allow the instructor to cement this need of learners as they are a visual representation of a life. The advanced mannequins, once again, allow learners to be in groups, which allows the learners the opportunity for not only instructor feedback immediately, but peer feedback as well. And lastly, Self-efficacy will be promoted because of the scaffolding nature of the practice section to ensure students start easy and then end with putting all instructions together in order to save the mannequin. The outcome for the augmented reality is quite similar to the advanced CPR mannequins. So, rather than explain once again how both mediums have the instructor rationalizing the need to practice to increase student value, provide high expectations, institute group work, provide immediate feedback, and have scaffolding to motivate the learner, let me just simply state the one difference. Just like the knowledge outcomes, the augmented reality medium provides a unique advantage over the advanced CPR mannequin, and that is that it can put the learner in more realistic situations. Students will be more motivated to learn if they are put in the situations they may one day actually face. Thus, augmented reality is advantageous for the motivational outcome because augmented reality can add various biological sexes, ages, body type, ethnicities, scenarios, whether they're dangerous or not, and other variables that the advanced CPR mannequin simply cannot. With all this said, if the choice is based on meeting knowledge and motivational outcomes alone, the augmented reality would be the choice medium for the Swim Trojans CPR course.